What's up, guys? Let's talk about explanations. So, what's interesting is Dawkins says natural selection occurs through elimination. His theory deviates from Darwin's because he specifies what is being eliminated, right? So what's being eliminated is the genes, the genetic knowledge. And for humans, the analogy with memes is that, in culture, is that ideas are what's being eliminated from the meme pool, if you will, with the analogy, that being an analogy to the gene pool, where genes are being eliminated. So culture is the meme pool. With genetic evolution, genes are being eliminated from the gene pool, right? So memes or ideas are what's being eliminated from human culture. The big misconception, starting with Darwin, is that individuals or species are what's being targeted and eliminated by natural selection, by the process of natural selection. And that's wrong. That is what Dawkins calls group selection theory. A common misconception, a common reading of Darwin's theory. That's gotten a lot of scientists and creative thinkers to form some incorrect conclusions. Dawkins' theory, selfish gene theory, asserts that the units, the individuals, the particulars that are being targeted, selected for are genes and memes or ideas. So we can think of memes as meaningful explanations, as distinctive behavior caused by a meaningful explanation. Short form version of that idea. That's important too, that definition is important because we cannot see the contents of the mind. We cannot see an idea, only the behavior that it causes. However, the contents of all memes is mental, exists within the mind. Now, culture evolves much faster, exponentially faster than genes do, or the gene pool does. This is why humans and human society seems so divergent from the rest of our evolutionary ancestors. And what we're capable of seems so divergent from our evolutionary ancestors. You cannot quantify the reach of an idea. Let's see what we have. So, Dawkins' core the core of Dawkins' theory is that evolution is about replication. That is the purpose, that is the goal, if you will. That is what is happening. That is what is at issue. That is what is constantly going on. You know? It's a fascinating idea. Most interesting theory in the book is probably, so far that I've read, it's probably in the section about sexual selection, Zahavi's theory, handicap theory, where Zahavi asserts that the hottest peacock is the peacock who is the most handicapped, because the handicap costs the peacock. So the male peacock, who is the most attractive to female peacocks, is the one who is proven against all odds, against the pressure of reality, selection pressure that exists in the environment, that he can maintain his existence while still expending resources to signal to female peacocks that he is a viable mate. So we have the talk about signaling. Signaling being important because as organisms grow in complexity, the systems used to facilitate reproduction also grow in complexity. Zahavi showed with a mathematical model that one of the 4 iterations of his theory are viable. It could work. He says that the male peacock can has access to certain information about himself that the female doesn't, and that he may choose to advertise, big word for Zahavi, advertise this information to the female or to females. This is what signaling is. This is the explanation of why the peacock, has such a long and florid tail. He's choosing to use certain resources. His genes have chosen to use certain resources. Again, it's not a conscious choice to signal his viability as a sexual partner. And so he grows a long tail. Long and colorful tail. The growth of the tail being at the expense of other resources, other uses of the resources that the peacock could have potentially invested in. So what's important about the tail growth is that it disadvantages the peacock in reality. The fact that it's difficult to do, to grow, to create the tail is what makes it an effective signal. The fact that it takes actual resources from the peacock to create, and the fact that it creates a tail, an ornate tail, beautifully detailed appendage, that peacock's trademark, if you will, is why it serves as an effective signal for the purpose of sexual selection. This is Zahavi's theory, handicap theory. It's a compelling theory. When I've been thinking about Dawkins ends the chapter by mentioning something interesting, that humans in Western society seem to be the only species where the roles are reversed. It isn't the males who are signaling. Males, he calls drab in our society, whereas in peacock society, females are drab, whereas males grow the extraordinarily ornate tails. Our society, Western society, it's women who paint their faces, do their hair, and wear flashy clothes. He says if men do this, they're suspicious. And that's the question, one I've been thinking about. Is it men who are the prize in Western society, Western Homo sapien society? Are men what's being competed over? In nature, the egg is rare. The egg takes resources to grow. There are fewer eggs than there are sperm. So the egg is usually, at least in mammals, I believe in birds, more valuable than the sperm, which is why we see such an uneven distribution in male reproduction versus female reproduction, or the chances for procreation as a male and female in mammal or bird society. Seals, 4% of male seals have access to procreation. 88% of females do. 4% of male seals service 88% of the female seal population. It makes you wonder, are men in Western society being competed over? Has the sperm become more valuable than the egg? Has the idea trumped biology?